Okay, what is going on, guys? Happy day after Christmas, or just happy Friday in general, or happy whatever other day it is, whatever you celebrate out there. Happy Friday, guys. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone had a good day yesterday, is having a good one today. I am very excited because, as some of you may see, there is something in front of me, and this is a brand new microphone. Now, I need to know how it sounds. First of all, I've been trying to mess with it to the best of my ability, but there's only so much I can do on my end. Replaying it back, I can't really hear it from your end. So let me know how the microphone sounds, and if it's coming through okay, if you can hear me all right, if the audio is okay, it's at a high enough level or a low enough level. Let me know how it is. But I am super, super stoked about it. I've been, this was a Christmas gift. The only thing I asked for was a brand new microphone, and I got it, and Santa was good to me. I thought I was naughty. I thought I was going to be on the naughty list. I tried really hard to be on the naughty list, but I somehow ended up on Santa's good side, and I got a new microphone for YouTube, and I'm so stoked because I've been using the same old crappy mic for how long now? I don't even know. Some of you guys have know the progress. Like, first, I just recorded on a webcam microphone and it sounded terrible. Like, if you watch any of my videos from like 2018, 19, even before then, it just sounds like absolute dog shit because I just didn't have a microphone. So I was just using an old webcam microphone. Then I got this guy. I had this guy for a while. Some of you may remember. I had the nice little Snowball because that was like the cheapest starting out microphone that I could find. So I had that. And then for like the last, I don't know, I would say for like the last, 4 years, I've had the red guy. And I've been using this microphone the entire time. So now this is like my first time upgrading in like the last 4 years. So I'm still going to keep this around in case I need it, but I'm really, really stoked about this. So let me know how it sounds. If it sounds okay, it should be good quality. I even have it on a little, what do you even call these? The microphone stand, the adjustable stands. I don't even know what you call it. But the most exciting thing about that for me is because this is the first time I can do this. Watch this. I can actually sit back. I can sit back in my chair and talk in the microphone. I don't have to lean all the way up towards the screen. I mean, I still will because it kind of feels natural to me to do that because I've kind of trained myself to do that over the course of the last like 10 years. But now I can literally hands-free. I can just sit back. My back can finally touch the chair when I'm doing a live stream and speak into a microphone. Like this, you guys have no idea how good this feels. Like, you have no idea how long I have waited for a moment like this where I can actually sit back in my goddamn chair and still reach the microphone. This is luxury to me, okay? In my life, from the frame and perspective of my life, this right here is luxury. Like, this is like, oh my God, I actually can just sort of lean back in my chair and talk in the microphone. It's amazing. It's amazing. I never in a million years thought life could be this good. It's crazy. But let me know how it sounds. You guys, let me know how the audio is coming in. What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. Sounds way better. Thank you, Bruce Wayne. Think it sounds so much better. Thank you, Kia. Yeah. I'm still messing with the audio levels a little bit. But I'm doing my best. But like I said, like, this is crazy to me. The fact that I can actually sit back in my chair and still speak into the microphone. You know, it's the little things in life. It's the little things because I never really had one of those mic stands for this guy. And because I needed to use the pop stopper the entire time, I had to attach that to the desk. And so it always had to be standing up on the desk. So even if I did have a stand like this that I could move around, it still would have been semi-useless because I didn't have anything to cover the microphone. But this came with a pop stopper itself. So it just works. I don't know, man. I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling good. It's feeling snazzy. Ryan, will you be turning 37 this year? Well, no, because there's only like 5 days left in the year. and I will not be having a birthday within those 5 days. But next year, in 2026, yes, that seems likely. This is crazy. Look at me. Look at me sitting back in the chair. That's nuts. How's everyone's Friday, man? Also, what did you guys get for Christmas? Share your Christmas gifts, or share what was your favorite thing that you got for somebody. Something that you got someone else and they were excited about it. Thank you. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed Christmas. No lie. I do kind of look forward to these Friday streams. Fun to hear some genuine things. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I do. I like hanging out with you guys too, man. It's a lot of fun. I like the creativity you guys give me with questions sometimes. I like answering silly questions. I like answering things that you don't commonly see. And sometimes you guys can get really, really creative. And I appreciate that. Do a video of your setup and how you make videos. Yeah, I've been meaning to do a video like that for a while. I keep getting sidetracked. Whenever I'm working on a new retrospective, I always think of doing like a behind the scenes of the entire process of doing one of the movie reviews. So I will do that at some point in the future. The setup is really nothing special. I mean, other than the new microphone that finally I have like some quality equipment, you know, the setup isn't really too special. This is actually a much smaller room than it looks like on camera. I know like on camera, it kind of looks like it goes on, but I mean, really it's like, I could probably show you like how many steps it takes to get across the room. Like this is up, my computer's up against the wall. And then literally it's just like, what? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 2, 3, 4. So it's like 6 steps, 5.5, 6 steps. But then, yeah, over here, I just have like a corner desk that goes in the wall, against the wall. Then I have my computer on this side. I have 2 monitors here. My light is literally just like a spotlight with a clamp that I put on top of the monitor. So nothing special for the light. And then I put like the LEDs in the back to kind of give it like more of a little blue hue to it, you know? And then I have on the wall, like some of those sound blockers, the little square foam panels. I have some of those, but that's, that's really it. I mean, it's nothing too crazy about it, but you know what? It works. It works for me. Oh my God. Like you guys have no idea how great it is to lean back in my chair. This is crazy. This must be how people that like actually do streaming for a living like do things. Like they got it figured out like decades before I did. Because this is so fancy. I can use my hands for all kinds of activities. Oh man. What's up, Ryan? Not a lot, man. Not a lot. Just hanging out with you guys, doing a casual Friday stream, a post-Christmas stream. Let me know what you guys got or what you got somebody. What was your favorite gift that you got somebody or favorite gift that you received? My gift is right in front of you. So for some reason, I didn't end up on the naughty list, and Santa got me a long overdue new microphone that I've needed for like 4 years. But hey, better late than never. Took me a while to get back on the nice list, I guess. Bruce says, I got the entire run of Scott Snyder's New 52. Hell yeah, man. You know what? Actually, I don't know if I have the entire run, but I have most of Scott Snyder's Batman stuff. What he did when New 52 started, because that's actually when I kind of was trying to be consistent with comics. So I remember when New 52 rebooted. For anybody who doesn't know, like DC Comics, I think back in like 2010 or 2011, they started pretty much everything over at issue #1 and sort of not like a brand new continuity because they still had characters from the past continuity, but like they kind of started from square one basically with their storylines. So I remember I thought that was like the best opportunity to try to get into comics. And so I started there. Started like trying to read consistently, you know, so I got all of Scott Snyder's stuff throughout his entire run. And then that's when Jeff, what was his name? I can't remember his name. Jeff Johns. Yeah, Jeff Johns. He was doing Justice League. So I was reading Batman and Justice League at that time and trying to be like as consistent as I could. But then, as superhero comics tend to do, they got like too crazy with multiple storylines going into different series and just difficult to keep up on. And then they would retcon things that I would enjoy, and they would switch writers, and then it wouldn't feel the same, and just like, I don't know. And then I fell out of it. But I tried for like a good like 3 or 4 years. I was trying really hard to keep up with comics to the best of my ability. But yeah, I love Scott Snyder stuff, and I followed him up until I think they did the DC Metal event, which I thought was really cool. That's when they introduced the Batman Who Laughs, the variant of Batman that in that universe he went crazy and turned into the Joker. And then the Joker has like the Hellraiser design with like all the metal spikes going around his face. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty dope. I thought you said no stream till 2026. Did I say that? I don't know if I confirmed that. I think I theorized that because I wasn't sure if I was going to stream this week or not. But hey, here I am. I wanted to show off my new microphone. I got excited. I really wanted to test it out. Honestly, you know what? This stream is actually just like a test run for the microphone. Like, let's be honest here. You know, that's basically what it is. No, I wanted to see how it was going to work out. I wanted to see how I was going to kind of figure out my placement here, which it looks like this works. Although this does make me look really short. But I am really short, so I may as well just embrace it, right? I don't know. I wanted to test out the new microphone, see how it was working. But I don't see any complaints, so pretty much everyone seems to think that the audio quality is good. So that's good for me. You bought your wife a nice camera. She's been wanting to start a YouTube. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Yo, well, put her YouTube channel in the chat. You know, we have at least 24 people here. I mean, maybe somebody will check it out, man. Put her, if she started making videos, yeah. If she just got her the camera yesterday, maybe she doesn't have a channel yet. But in a future stream, if she has a channel with videos on it, you can link her channel in the stream and somebody can check it out. That's cool, man. Yeah. Never too late to start. And may as well just do it on the side. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day. I was talking to an older gentleman the other day. By older, I mean he was probably in like his 70s. And we were talking about, you know, the differences in our life experiences and stuff because of different eras that we grew up in and everything. And, you know, I was trying to explain a little bit of what YouTube was, of like what I did. And, you know, I was telling him, like, I've been doing this for over a decade, but I've only been doing it full time for like 3.5 years. And that's the amount of time it took me to get to a point where I felt like I could maybe do it full time. Now I'm like slightly regretting that because I've had a really bad year. But in general, I'm like, yeah, you know, it's just like, it's one of those things where I've always been kind of doing it. I've always been grinding on it. I've always been making content in one way, shape, or form. It just took me that long until I could do it full time. But, you know, I always worked other full-time jobs while also simultaneously working on YouTube until I felt I could get it up to a level where I could take it that far. And even if you start a channel, like, there's no reason that you would like need to necessarily have the goal of trying to do it full time. You know, it can always just be an outlet. And that's still kind of how I view YouTube, is like, I view it as a creative outlet, like something where I can just create create content, for lack of a better word, create a piece of media, put my thoughts out there, use it in any kind of versatile way that I want. Like, that's how I always view YouTube, and that's how I always want to view YouTube, is that, you know, I'm not here to do anything other than just kind of share whatever my thoughts are at the time, or whatever kind of creative endeavor I want to do at that particular time. Like, this is it's an outlet just to express myself. That's how I look at it. So, you know, you can do that casually, you can do that once a month, you can do that every day. It's, you know, it's versatile in that way. I think sometimes we forget that because everyone's just looking for the quickest opportunity to go viral or become like the next Mr. Beast or something. And you kind of forget that YouTube kind of began as just a way for people to put themselves out there and just be creative. I forgot Ryan is short until he stands up. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm only 5'5". And actually, I found out my girlfriend is actually taller than me. She's 5'6", I think. So she's got an inch on me. And I got a couple inches on her. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, she's actually taller than me, which is funny. because we seem like we're kind of the same size, but she is actually taller. Unfortunately stuck at work. Sorry to hear that, my friend. Sorry to hear that. You know, sometimes when you have to go to work the day after Christmas, it's always kind of a toss up how it's going to be. Like, are people going to be kind of like riding the high of a good mood, or is everybody going to be completely miserable because, you know, they wanted to do something the previous day and they couldn't because it was Christmas. So now it's going to be busier and more packed depending on where you worked. You know, it was always kind of a toss up. When I worked my retail job, it was always kind of a toss up the day after Christmas if it was going to be a decent day because people are still kind of in a good mood, or if it was going to be a terrible day because now everybody wants to show up and cause a ruckus and return things and have arguments. And yeah. So you never really know. Got your girlfriend a handbag. We'll give it to her later when you see her. Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, I got my girlfriend a couple of things. I got her this big like sweater blanket thing that she can wear that she wanted. Also got her little things. Like I got her a Buffy the Vampire Slayer hoodie because we've been watching that together. We're actually watching Angel now. We finished Buffy. Now we're watching Angel, but I got her a Buffy hoodie. She loves Totoro, so I got her a 2026 calendar that's all like Studio Ghibli Totoro. What else did I got her other things too. What else? I got her this like this, it's weird to describe. It's like a Lego sort of like black roses thing that you can build. I don't know. It sounds kind of weird to describe, but she liked it. And it looks pretty cool. Like once you build it, it actually looks pretty awesome. Maybe I'll post a picture of it on my Instagram once she builds it. Miss the days before the internet when we used to buy DVDs. Now I'm not even sure what I truly like or dislike. My own opinions or thoughts have become a jumble of what I think and what other people think. Interesting observation. I don't think that you're alone in that feeling. I think that a lot of people are kind of like that. That's why I always say make up your own mind, make up your own opinion. Like, don't just like something or dislike something because I like it or dislike it. I think everyone should make up their own mind. But yeah, you do kind of notice this like regurgitation of the same points and the same ideas and the same talking points over and over and over again. And also once people realize that something works, you know, then they're more likely to just like regurgitate the same thing because you're like, oh, this person has this opinion and they got tons of views and they blah, blah, blah. So I'll just say the same exact thing over here. And it is also hard on the flip side of that to play devil's advocate. You know, when you're on the internet, it is really hard to have an original thought about something sometimes because you know, like a piece of media has been talked about so many times over the course of so many years. How do you, as a new person coming into watching it or reading it, come up with a new opinion, you know? So it can be difficult just to play devil's advocate for a little bit. But, you know, that's why I really do always stress, like, make up your own opinion and don't listen to random people on the internet. You know, sometimes... because every once in a while I'll talk about like a more serious subject or something a little bit deeper. And sometimes even in live streams, you know, people ask me for like life advice and stuff. And I always, you know, I want to help people, but I also always say like, don't listen to some random person on the internet to like base a big life decision off of, you know, it's like you can take input for sure. Just like you can take input from anybody, your friends, you know, people that you trust in your life. But, you know, I don't think that you should just like take somebody's word. Like they don't know you. They don't know your situation. They don't know your history. They don't know all the little nuances of everything going on in your life. And so like, I don't think you should take their advice specifically like 100% to heart. Like, you know, filter it within your own mind, within your own thoughts. You know, it's like the Bruce Lee philosophy. Take what is useful, discard what is useless, and then add what is uniquely your own. And that's kind of the philosophy that I try to live by to the best of my ability, where I'll take in the information. I'll try to get rid of the parts that don't apply to me, that don't resonate with me, that don't make sense to me. And then I'll also just put my own perspective into it. And then you come up with something new. So, yeah. So whether I say it or anybody else says it, you know, I always try to stress, like, please make your own decisions for yourself. It's okay to take input. It's okay to take advice, but don't just do what some person on the internet tells you, you know, unless it makes sense to your own sensibilities. That's a really, really important thing. You got the Showa and Heisei Gamera films? Dude, that is awesome, man. Hell yeah. Did you get the Arrow box set? I have the Arrow set for the Heisei, but I don't have the Showa era, and I keep meaning to get it, but it's like $60, and every time I'm like willing to buy something, I'm like, I don't know if I want to spend that much, but I need it to complete the set, you know? So at some point I'll have to buy that. I do have like a really old crappy DVD of the Showa era Gamera, but I'm pretty sure it's like the edited American versions. So it's like the shitty versions with shitty quality. A taller girlfriend is the dream. I mean, they're out there. Well, I mean, especially if you're me and you're only 5'5", then there's a lot out there. But I got one. She's only like an inch taller than me, but it still counts. In the UK, they give you the day off after Christmas. Like everybody in the UK, or do you mean like your specific job? I can't imagine that like everybody, because like certain things need to be open, right? I don't know. I mean, here in the US, like even like movie theaters are open on Christmas Day because new movies always tend to drop on Christmas. I have gone to the theater on Christmas Day before in the past, but it's not like a usual thing for me. I remember I went to go see, I think it was Django Unchained. When I think that came out on Christmas Day, me and a buddy of mine went to go see that. It was a good time. It was a good movie. Christmas felt like another normal day for some reason. I mean, it can, especially as you get older, you know, and I think it's always more exciting for younger people, for kids, you know what I mean? But yeah, I still always try to enjoy the day the best of my ability. Like, well, I hung out with my girlfriend this year in the morning, and then I went over to my mom's house. And then after that, I literally just came home and just ate junk food, and I played Batman Arkham Origins, which ironically takes place on New Year's Eve, because I'm trying to play through I have so many video games to play, it's not even funny. It's like ridiculous. But I was trying to play through all of the Batman Arkham games. And I'm getting to Arkham Knight, which is the one game in the series that I have not played. So playing Arkham Origins, but it's just it was very topical that game literally takes place on Christmas Eve. And I was playing it on Christmas, so it worked. It felt fitting, you know, it set the mood. And I got to fight Deathstroke, which is great. And then that made me a little bit sad that we never got the Ben Affleck Batman movie that would have had Deathstroke. Because I really do think Deathstroke would be an awesome villain for a Batman live action. But alas. You know, even if they put Deathstroke in the next Robert Pattinson movie, which I know they're not going to, but even if they did that, I would be stoked. As much as I'm not really big on the Pattinson Batman, I want to see a Batman versus Deathstroke movie, man. That's what I want to see. Recently noticed that my favorite American movies are from the 1980s. What do you recommend from that era? Genre, action, comedy. Oh man, I mean, the 80s is one of the most stacked decades of movies in all genres. Because like, look, you got horror in the 80s, which just exploded. I mean, you have so many great movies like, you know, Lost Boys and Fright Night and all that kind of stuff. But then you have the golden era of the slasher films. You know, you have most all of the Friday the 13th, most all of Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, Child's Play started in the 1980s. You have other slasher movies like Sleepaway Camp, you know. And then you have like the golden era of special effects, practical special effects in the 80s too. You have John Carpenter's The Thing, you have The Fly, you have the remake of The Blob, you know, all of those movies from the 80s. Then you have stuff like Gremlins, you know, and the practical effects in Gremlins. And it's like, man, like horror movies in the 80s were just on another level. But then that's only one genre. Then we switch to like action films. You're in sort of like the golden age of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, and the golden age of Sylvester Stallone. You got the original First Blood, Rambo. You know, you got the first Terminator. Terminator 2 was 1992, so that cross into the next decade, but you got the first Terminator, you got the first Predator, you know, you got James Cameron's Aliens, the sequel to Alien. Like, it's just like, it's just an unbelievably stacked decade. Obviously Die Hard, which everyone, you know, argues whether or not it's a Christmas movie or not, came out in the 80s. So the 80s is so unbelievably stacked. Like Mad Max, The Road Warrior. It just doesn't end. There's just so many good movies in that decade. So any of those, man, you know, any of those movies that I just named or more. And then on the comedy side, you know, then you got like Back to the Future, you got the John Hughes movies, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You know, you have what, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, that was the 80s, right? I believe. What else? It's just such a crazy decade of movies, man. In almost every genre. There's just nothing but good stuff, you know? So, yeah, you can't go wrong with searching the 80s for some of the best movies. Yeah, it's the Arrow sets for Gamera. Yeah, dude, those are pretty, that's pretty high quality. I have the Heisei set of Gamera, but I want to get the Showa one so I can complete the set. I just haven't picked it up. But that's awesome, man. Enjoy. Get some giant turtle action post-Christmas. The way that it should be. Holidays are another way for businesses to do business when you think about it. Oh, I mean, absolutely. Like there's a dark side and a light side to everything. And especially when it comes to the holidays, like obviously it's there to make you spend money and buy a bunch of useless crap that you don't really need. But I mean, on a smaller, more personal level, I mean, it's to spend time with people that you care about. So you take the good with the bad on that one, I guess. The Batman Arkham games are so nostalgic. They are, man. I'm having a really good time going back through them. Arkham Asylum, when I played through it, it was a little bit more rough than I remembered it. Like, I remembered it very, very well in my... I still loved it. It's still a great game. But Arkham City is really when that franchise hits its stride. That's definitely the high point. And I love how many characters they incorporate through it. Origins, I've only played once before, way back when it came out. So I'm playing it now, but it's kind of like I'm playing it for the first time because it's been so long. And then, like I said, I've never played Arkham Knight, so I'm excited to get to that. But I wanted to play them in order. Well, release order, not chronological order, but I wanted to get through all of them. Yeah, are you playing Origin? No, not for the first time. So I've played all of them before except for Arkham Knight. But it's been like 10 years since I played Origin, so like I said, it's kind of like I'm playing it for the first time. Ryan, my guy, bring the Berserk. Love you, man. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Yeah, so what I'm thinking about doing, since, you know, obviously we only get like 3 Berserk chapters a year, and I haven't made any videos on Berserk in a long time for a number of different reasons. But I think one of the most obvious reasons is that, like, I've talked about everything. Like, I've reviewed the entire series. I've done the entire monster manual, talking about every single creature in the series. I've even done outside of that where I've talked about weapons in the series. I've talked about like the metaphysical concepts in the series and stuff. And then I've done every single theory video I could imagine. Like I always tell people, like, it's hard to come up with new theories for Berserk when we only get like 3 chapters a year, because like my opinions don't really change that much. Like there's not really anything in the new chapters that recontextualizes my entire opinion about something. Like all of my opinions are pretty much the same, you know? So I don't really have anything new to add to it. And then on top of that, there's just like 10 bajillion other things that I want to talk about and make videos about. And so because of that, I just haven't made a lot of Berserk videos. But I'm thinking next year, and I've talked about this before, I'm thinking about going back and revisiting the series from the beginning in a different way. Like, I've already done the manga analysis series, so I don't see any point in doing that over again. But I was thinking about doing sort of like a casual off-the-cuff style video. you know, like something like this where it would be unscripted, where I would go back and maybe do like a weekly video series where we read a volume a week. So my first video will be about volume 1, and we're going to go back and just specifically talk about that volume. Like, we're not going to talk about all the things that happen in the future. I mean, probably mention things, like mention how it connects, but stay focused on the chapters at hand and talk about volume 1. And then I would basically give all you guys like a homework assignment, like go read volume 2. And then next week, in the next video, we'll talk about volume 2. And we could basically keep that up for what, 40, how many volumes? 42. We could do 42 weeks of that, you know? So then every week there would be a Berserk video. And then also we get to go back and re-experience the series from the beginning. And to be honest, like when I did the manga analysis series, like I hadn't even caught up to the most recent chapters doing that. You know what I mean? So like a lot of times I look back at those videos and I hate that. Like obviously the quality sucks. Like, they're just like really cringe videos. Like they're recorded on a potato, you know. I sound terrible. I don't know what I'm talking about. I hadn't finished the series. I do get facts wrong. So it would be kind of cool to go back from the beginning and just kind of like talk about it from volume 1 with sort of like my knowledge now of the series. And also, I haven't read Berserk in like from start to finish. Like I read the new chapters, obviously, but I haven't read Berserk from the beginning in like 5 years. It's been a long time. So it would be kind of cool to go back and reread it, you know? So if you guys would be down for a video series like that, that would be a way to kind of have some consistent Berserk videos and also kind of go back and rediscover the series from the beginning and talk about things. But on the negative side of that, it would also kind of be like talking about the same things over again. You know, and I don't know if people would necessarily be down for that. Like, it depends. So I've heard some people express that they would be interested in me doing that, but then I haven't heard like if people would find it kind of redundant or I don't know. So let me know. Let me know if you think that's a good idea, because I'm thinking about that being one of my big video series for 2026. But I wouldn't want people to be bored by it, I guess, you know, kind of going over the series again. But now we'd be going over it with some distance and then also having knowledge of where things end up. So it would be different than when I did the manga analysis, because I know more about the story now, you know? So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of that idea. Oh, yeah, Eddie Murphy. Yeah, Delirious and Raw came out in the 80s. If you're into stand-up, not usually, but I've never laughed as much as I did watching them. I have not seen those ones, but yeah, Eddie Murphy was really big in the 80s as well. Like the 80s, like I said, is just completely stacked in just every single genre you can imagine for movies, whether it be horror, comedy, action. The 80s were just on another level, man. I feel bad I missed out. Although I do think the era I grew up in was objectively the best, I still feel like I missed out on the 80s, you know? The Arkham games are your comfort games. Dude, that makes, I mean, there is something oddly comforting about being Batman and swinging on the rooftops as the snow is falling, and you can kind of see like the haze of the bat signal in the background, and you know you got like the planes and the blimps flying overhead. Like there is something oddly comforting about those games, and I completely understand. It makes perfect sense. Best feat in Berserk video, bro. I mean, we all know that Mozgus has the best feat, right? I mean, that's got to be like universally understood, I would imagine. You should play either the Dead Rising or Yakuza games. I played the original Dead Rising when it came out like 20 years ago. Yakuza, I've never gotten into. I've never tried it. The chapter wait takes so long, you don't even notice the years between them. Some of the new Berserk chapters came out 2 years ago. Oh, yeah. Tell me about it, man. Yeah. I still, it's funny because, like, if you look at it in context of the story, like not in the chapter releases, but in the story, I mean, we just saw Casca not that long ago, right? But then you look at when it came out, and I think it's like 2 years, maybe going on 3 now since we've seen her. But in story, that not flashback, but flash to Falconia, it was only like a little bit ago. It wasn't that long ago. But in our real time, it's been like 2-3 years. It's crazy. I mean, if there's one thing they've kept consistency about taking over for Miura, it's the chapter releases. That's for damn sure. That's being a true Berserk fan, is the struggle of waiting for chapters, because, you can't guarantee that everybody reading the story has gone through some struggle in their life, so to give you the real effect of what it's like to understand the themes of Berserk and struggling, deliberately we space out the chapter releases so that you can understand what it's like to struggle. That's what I believe in my heart of hearts. I think the slow chapter release is just so that they can guarantee every single person reading the story knows what it's like to struggle and thus can somewhat relate to Guts. That's my theory. Ryan's old videos are gold. Honestly, the manga analysis videos were fun to listen to while I would travel on buses and trains. Well, I appreciate that, man. I don't necessarily agree, because I think those videos are pretty bad, to be honest, just in quality, in presentation, in information. But I'm glad that they brought you joy, and that's why I brought them back. They're all still up on the channel so that anybody can watch them. They were gone for a while, but, who am I to deny the people of what they want? So I brought them back. Super chat from Dylan Smith. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Thank you for supporting the channel. When are you going to cover the Stone Age struggler, our boy Spear in Primal? The show is so damn good, and season 3 is coming up in January. I didn't know there was going to be a season 3. So I'm aware of the show. I know about it. I've seen clips and moments from it, but I haven't watched it from start to finish. So it is on my list to get to, along with like 1,000 other shows, but I do want to check it out. It does sound pretty cool. I like the concept. I like the idea, and everything that I've seen from it seems pretty awesome. So it literally seems like the kind of show that I would love. I just have not gotten around to checking it out yet, but it's definitely on my list to get to in the future, man. So thank you, bro. Thank you for supporting the channel as always, man. I appreciate it. And one day I will, I promise. In Yakuza, you can toss a knife into the air and then kick it into an opponent's chest. I mean, I can do that in real life too, but probably would be better to do it in a game. I agree. Also, for anybody new here, I wanted to tell you guys that I got a new microphone, and I'm really, really stoked about it. I ranted and raved about it for like the first 10 minutes of the stream, but this is the first time that I've ever streamed where I can actually lay back in my chair. Like, normally I have to sit up really close so that my voice can be picked up by the microphone clearly. Now that I have a new mic and a mic stand and a good quality mic, I can literally actually sit back in my chair, and you guys have no idea how good this feels. Like, this is me living the high life right now. This is luxury to me. The fact that I can do a stream and actually sit back in my chair. It's amazing. It feels so good. My back is so happy. I don't have to strain myself to make sure that I'm putting my mouth up to the microphone. But it feels great. And I'm stoked. And I'm happy about it. So I just wanted you guys to know that. And apparently the quality of the mic is good too, because I haven't heard any complaints in the chat. So that's good. That's a good thing. I'm still kind of figuring out when I record. Like, when I record a regular video, I'm kind of wondering how far back from the mic I should be. Right now, I am pretty much up on it, but I can move the mic around wherever I need it now. So I think this is good. I think this is a good, like, distance. Yeah, seemed right up your alley. Was surprised you had no vids on it. I know. You know what? There is actually a lot of things that I like am deeply passionately like shows and movies and stuff that I deeply passionately love that I have no videos on whatsoever. Like for example, Buffy the Vampire Slayer and its spin-off series Angel are two of my favorite shows of all time, and they have been since basically when they were airing. And I have no videos on them. And I watched, I made my girlfriend, I made her, but she enjoyed it eventually. That sounds weird out of context. I made her watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's what I was talking about. I made her watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and she enjoyed it. And now we're watching Angel. And it's the first time I've rewatched those shows in like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. And I have so much to say about them, and I love those shows so much, but I don't have any videos on them. And it's so bizarre to me that I don't. Another thing pretty much is Godzilla. Now, I do have some Godzilla videos. Like, I have reviews of all the MonsterVerse stuff, and I have a couple of tier lists and some Godzilla content. But the amount that I love Godzilla and how important Godzilla is to me, it's crazy that I don't have a lot of Godzilla videos. Like, I have an entire Godzilla shrine behind me where I'm trying to collect stuff. I don't really have a lot of figures and stuff right now, but I'm hoping in the future maybe. But I have like a lot of Godzilla stuff, and I watch Godzilla movies all the time. Like 9 times out of 10, I fall asleep watching a Godzilla movie because it just brings me comfort and takes me back to my happy place when I was a kid. I don't know. But I don't have a lot of Godzilla videos, and that's why one of the big videos next year is probably going to be a Godzilla retrospective, because it's about time the King of the Monsters gets his due respect on my channel, I think. So there's going to be some massive, pun intended, massive Godzilla content next year. But yeah, sometimes things like that just kind of happen, you know. There's so many things, and that's why also, you know, I like a lot of variety on the channel. And people asking, you know, why I don't talk about Berserk as much. It's like, well, I love other things too. You know, there's like so many other things that I want to talk about, and sometimes it just takes forever to get around to them, you know. Calling Friday part of the weekend when you have to go to school or work is absurd. Yeah, well, I mean, Friday, I mean, I think they consider it like Friday night starts the weekend, right? Like once you get out of work or get out of school, you know, like not everybody, obviously. Like when I worked retail, I had to work the weekend all the time. Then eventually we made a deal where I worked every other weekend. So that was that was better. But yeah, Friday night is usually considered the weekend, you know? Like shit, I remember when I was a kid, Friday night was better than Saturday night because you got out of school and then you like, I don't know, in like my little child mind, Friday night was the best because then it felt like I had so much time before I had to go back to school. Like it felt like everything was ahead of me. Like, oh man, like Saturday comes around and like Saturday was cool, but then it was like, oh man, tomorrow's Sunday. Then I got to go back to school. But Friday night felt invincible. It felt like I have all the time in the world. Like nothing can stop me. You know, I always loved Friday night more than Saturday night. And then Friday is usually when my parents would like order food out, you know, or like my dad would take me to go rent a movie or something, like a movie and a video game. Like it was always, Friday night was always the best night, you know? And I'm really upset that I can never have that experience with if I have a kid someday. Like I always pictured what it would be like to take my kid out to, you know, like go get a pizza and then go to Blockbuster and rent a movie and rent a video game. And I'm never going to be able to give my kid that experience. And it just bums me out because for me as a kid, that was like the highlight of my entire week or month or, you know, however often we went. Like when my dad would pick me up from school on Friday and we'd go get food and then go rent a movie. And it was just like the best. It was just the best time, the best feeling. And I'm never going to be able to give that to my kid if I have a kid someday. And that bums me the fuck out. I want to give them that experience. I mean, I could like make up a scenario. Like we could pretend like I have a movie collection. You know, there's probably something I could do where we could like pretend one, but like it's just not the same, you know? That's a bummer. Would you rather have the ideal posture when you stand, or would you rather have the comfort of sitting with your entire back touching the chair? Wait, would you rather have the ideal posture when you stand, or would you rather have the comfort sitting in your... I don't know what you mean. Like, are you saying that if I don't take the first one, I have like terrible posture? Or just the posture that I have now? Because I think my posture is pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect, I don't think, but like, I don't know. I'd rather sit back in the chair because this is the first time I've ever been able to sit back in my chair and stream at the same time, and it feels amazing. So I'm going to go with the new feeling, the new fun feeling. Hey, Ryan, hope you're having a good holiday season. Thank you, man. Last semester sucked, but I'm having a good winter break. I got a glow-in-the-dark model kit of the Cyclops from the 7th Voyage of Sinbad. Dude, that's badass, dude. Dude, that's awesome. You should post a picture of that somewhere if you're following me on social media or anything. I'd check that out. I was thinking about some old school movies like that when I saw the trailer for The Odyssey. And I try not to watch movie trailers anymore because I feel like a lot of them spoil stuff. But I think Christopher Nolan is one of those guys that, would make sure that his trailers are legit and don't give away too much. I mean, obviously, if you know the story of, the Odyssey and the Iliad and all that kind of stuff, like you're gonna kind of be spoiled anyway. But like, you know what I mean? So I watched the trailer and I thought it looked good. But then it made me think of all these old school movies, like the old Sinbad movies and like Jason and the Argonauts and stuff. And it really got me wishing we could still see some crazy special effects like that. I'm curious what Nolan's going to do with the more fantastical elements of the story, with like the Cyclops and stuff. Like what's it going to look like? What's it going to feel like, Yeah, just hope after Supernova they go back to making solo Godzilla movies. I'm with you there, man. I'm a little bit like as excited as I am for it, and as much as I enjoy and have fun with the whole MonsterVerse thing, I do get kind of nervous that like we're not going to be able to have a solo Godzilla movie anymore because now they're doing Godzilla Kong. Like first, Godzilla versus Kong. Awesome. Gotta have it. We have not had Godzilla versus Kong since 1962. It was long overdue. It's time to get this shit done, make a new version of it in the MonsterVerse, updated special effects. I was on board 100%, right? Then the next movie is Godzilla Kong, The New Empire. It's like, okay, so now you're going to have Godzilla and Kong in it again, and they're going to fight a little bit, but then they're not going to, it's going to be about something else. It's like, okay, all right, I get that. All right, makes enough sense. And then now they're doing Godzilla Kong Supernova. So it's like, oh, so now is this a trend? Is this a series in and of itself where we're going to have Godzilla Kong movies instead of, fleshing out the MonsterVerse and doing different things? Like, is this the nail in the coffin for getting a Godzilla movie again, like a solo Godzilla movie, or like a Mothra movie in the MonsterVerse, or a Rodan movie, or, Baragon? I'm just kidding. Maybe Baragon. Does this mean that moving forward, the only things we can have are Godzilla Kong crossover movies? And that, as much as I like seeing those two characters together, it does bum me out a little bit because I do want solo Godzilla stuff, or I want to see another just straight up Godzilla versus whatever, and not have to have Kong in it. And I was thinking, because of like the Hollow Earth thing that they do, I thought maybe like the Kong adventures would happen in Hollow Earth, have more of like a Skull Island feel to it. And then the Godzilla adventures would happen on the surface. And then in the future, when it's time for a crossover again or time for a team up, they could bring the characters together. But that's not the direction they went. They went straight for Godzilla Kong 2, Godzilla Kong 3. So yeah, I'm with you, man. And I hope that they have another solo Godzilla movie someday. As much shit as the Michael Dougherty movie gets, like a lot of people don't like Godzilla King of the Monsters, which I don't I understand the criticisms for the movie. I just think people are looking at it a little bit too harshly. Like, I do think that it is a bit too dark, and I do think that there is a bit too much of the human story going on, especially towards the end during the final battle. Because a lot of the Japanese, like, Toho Godzilla movies, they would pretty much kind of wrap up their human story about 10 minutes until 10, 15 minutes until the movie ends. And then the finale of the movie would be, you know, Godzilla fighting whoever the monster was in that movie. And then the human characters would basically be like up on a hilltop watching and kind of commenting on it from time to time. And I prefer that method rather than having like a monster fight happening over here and then human drama happening over here and cutting between the two. Like Godzilla's fighting Ghidorah, but then we cut to the humans, you know, driving a truck somewhere. It's just like, I'd rather the human story wrap up and then just have the humans kind of watching the final battle happen, right? Having said that, though, I still think Godzilla King of the Monsters is the best movie in the Monsterverse. Kong Skull Island is kind of there, but I'm more of a Godzilla guy, so that does give it an edge. But yeah, as far as all the movies and that continuity go, I still think King of the Monsters is the best. And it bums me out that we haven't had a Godzilla solo movie after that, because I want more of that, you know? I had so much fun watching that movie, man. I went to the IMAX to see it, which the IMAX is pretty far away from me. It's like an hour and a half away, but me and a buddy of mine, we hung out in the city too. We got food and made a whole day out of it, but we went and saw King of the Monsters in IMAX. And as somebody that grew up loving Godzilla, that hardly ever got to see a Godzilla movie in the theater, when I was watching that movie in the IMAX screen and then Godzilla shows up in the Arctic and they sort of play a variation of the Godzilla theme, you know, like the dun, 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 dun. I was like, man, that was it. I was like, I'm in. This is a movie that was made for me. Like I'm so in. It was great. It was great, man. And yeah, it's still my favorite in the Monsterverse. Yeah, Friday night for the win. Missed going over to the local video store. They were better than Blockbuster to me. Renting enough shit for the weekend to watch and stay up all night. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, Friday night was better than Saturday night as a kid, in my opinion, because if you got to go, you know, get some food somewhere, if you got like order a pizza or stopped at McDonald's or whatever you did, and then you got to go rent a movie and a video game, it was like you felt like you had the whole weekend was ahead of you, and you were like, yes, like school is gone, it's away from my brain, I'm not thinking about it at all I'm gonna do is hang out, watch movies, and play video games. And it was just the best. Yeah, I mean, we did have, there was like a local video store here that was really, really awesome. And I would definitely frequent that more, mostly because I think it was cheaper. So my parents went there more, understandable. But Blockbuster had certain things that one didn't. Like Blockbuster had, specific sections of movies that you wouldn't find anywhere else. Like they had like a 4-foot section of like just pure martial arts movies, and then that's also how I discovered a lot of anime, was through Blockbuster. Like a lot of the more like adult anime, and when I say adult, I don't mean hentai. Get your mind out of the gutter. I know someone was thinking it, not hentai. But that's where I found like Ghost in the Shell. That's where I found Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. That's where I found Ninja Scroll, and it traumatized me for life. So I can thank Blockbuster for finding all of those movies in my youth. And hey, I think I became a better person because of them. So, you know, they traumatized me for the better, not for the worse. I think I was positively traumatized by Ninja Scroll. Yeah, Nolan made a real-life bomb for Oppenheimer, so it'll be interesting to see what he'll make for the Odyssey. I am very interested, mostly because the Odyssey is a fantasy story. I mean, obviously, like, based in, like, historical ideas, but, like, you know, Nolan is very big on practical effects, which I appreciate, and if you look at his other movies, it's like, yeah, he did the Batman stuff, but a lot of that, you know, isn't, like, you know, he had a very grounded Batman universe, right? It was very, like, obviously it's fantasy, but it's not, like, high fantasy. It's you know, it took itself to be what if Batman existed in the real world. And then you have Inception, which has some cool effects in it, but a lot of the dream stuff isn't that wild. Like, yeah, they have the city kind of like collapsing in on itself, and that looks cool. But, you know, a lot of the dream scenarios were like the characters floating in the hallway or like on the ski slopes and stuff. It wasn't too crazy, right? I love Inception, by the way. That's my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. And then you had Interstellar, which had a lot of cool effects visually when it came to the space travel. But the Odyssey is something different. You know, this is something that's going to have creatures and like gigantic characters, and like it also because of the setting, you know, it's not in modern time. It's you know, it takes place in the past. So like it feels very different from other stuff that Nolan has done, you know? So I'm very curious about how he's going to handle the sort of like high fantasy aspects of it all. Have you read or seen Invincible? Yes, I've watched Invincible. I have not read it. I made a review for season 1 when it came out. I did not make a review for season 2, but I did make one for season 3. So I do have a review for season 1 and 3 of Invincible on my channel. Typically not one for historical accuracy in a fantasy movie, but the Odyssey looks really bland. Wish they stuck with the red and brass horned armor of actual Greece. See, it doesn't bother me, but I'm one of those guys that, like, I'm not a history buff whatsoever. The thing for me is, like, as long as you don't break the immersion, like, as long as you don't break the verisimilitude of it all, like, the idea that, like, if I'm watching a movie that takes place in ancient Greece, you know, I don't want to see, like, a DeLorean show up, you know what I mean? I don't want to see like a car or a plane, but like, I don't care if the armor is not historically accurate. You know, if they like take creative liberties to make their own versions of the armor at the time, or, you know, maybe, you know, some of the weapons, like, oh, this weapon actually didn't show up until like 50 to 100 years later, but he's using this, that kind of shit doesn't bother me. Like I'm not that kind of person that cares about that kind of historical accuracy. Like, as long as it makes sense in the story, like, I don't care if like a piece of armor or like a weapon that a character uses is not like 100% accurate to the time period. Just don't have them like bust out like a, you know, like, I don't know, like an assault rifle or something. And like, you know, other than that, I think that it's fine. And I never care about stuff like that. Pretty much because everything that I watch, you know, I view it as, a movie, you know, I view it as a story, as like, I'm not looking at it for, if I want accuracy, I will go and watch a documentary, which everyone says I pronounce wrong. How do you pronounce documentary? That's how I say it. I don't know. But anyways, you know, if I want to know about the truth, well, as much as the truth as we know, or that they tell us, I will watch a documentary. If I'm watching a movie, I'm watching it for a good story, good characters, you know, impressive direction, cinematography, character arcs. That's what I watch a movie for. I don't care if it's historically accurate. When Tarantino decided to kill Hitler in Inglourious Bastards, I didn't go, oh man, like what the hell? That's not accurate. I went like, fuck yeah. Like, you know, when I watched it. So I don't really care. I don't really care. Have you seen the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie? I have. I'm not the biggest fan of it, mostly because I'm a huge fan of the TV show. And I saw the movie after I'd watched the show. The movie, if anybody doesn't know, Joss Whedon wrote a movie, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, before the TV show. And they made the movie, but somebody else directed it, and they changed some things. And there was a movie of Buffy the Vampire Slayer before the show got greenlit. So when Joss Whedon did the show, he basically, like, it sounds kind of weird, but it makes sense. Like, he considered his script for the movie canon, but then started the show at episode 1 taking place after his script. And that script was what the movie was based on, but they changed things. So the movie is kind of following his script, but it's its own thing. But the TV show, like, you can start episode 1 of the TV show. You don't have to have seen the movie. Like, nothing in the movie is really relevant at all. And anything that would be is explained in episode 1. So the movie is like its own thing. And you can start straight off with the show. But I have seen the movie. I don't hate it. I think that it has some fun moments to it. I like Paul Rubens as a vampire in it. But Yeah, I don't know. I don't consider it canon. Like, when I think of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I never think about the movie. I'm only ever thinking about the show. How much do you want to bet that Destroya is eventually appearing in the MonsterVerse, because that seems to be the only kaiju people care about? Well, Destroya is awesome. I was watching Godzilla versus Destroya the other day, and it really is one of the best movies, I think, Godzilla movies. But I think that it's fair that Destroya will show up because he's popular, but also because that's one of the monsters that has never really been done again. Like, with Space Godzilla coming into the next movie, he's kind of in a similar position as Destroya, where they've only ever appeared in one movie in the Heisei era. So I do think it's time. It's not like Ghidorah or Mothra or like a monster that's been used multiple times in every era. I think that Destroya definitely deserves a comeback and deserves a moment to shine, but it's such a powerful, like overwhelmingly powerful enemy for Godzilla that it does feel like it should be, for something really big, something really important. Like, for anybody that doesn't know, Godzilla vs. Destroya is the final movie in the Heisei era. And spoiler alert, I guess. It's the movie where they kill Godzilla. Destroya doesn't kill Godzilla, but Godzilla dies in the movie. So it was meant to be like the finale of that continuity. And so when people talk about Destroya, they're usually thinking like, oh man, like it's going to be another like Endgame kind of movie for Godzilla. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but it sort of feels like it should be. It sort of feels like that's kind of, I'm rolling away. That's kind of where the character should exist, right? And I know that different interpretations change things and they change the lore. So Destroya could be something different in the MonsterVerse for sure, but it does feel more of like an Endgame sort of battle, or maybe it should be. Interstellar's overrated? I mean, I don't think so. I like it a lot. It's not my favorite Nolan, though. I would say Inception is probably my favorite, and then the Batman trilogy. Nolan's cinematography is getting repetitive, gritty realism, dull colors, tons of gray, etc. I mean, I don't really see it that way. I don't mind the way that his movies look. I think most of them look really, really good. My biggest gripe when it comes to Christopher Nolan is how fast-paced his editing is, because a lot of his movies tend to give a ton of exposition, and it's just like, even Inception, which I love. I love Inception so much. That's one of my favorite movies. But like, almost every scene is like, a character is saying like, exposition, 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 cut to the next scene, explain, 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 cut to the next scene, explain, 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 explain. He doesn't take a lot of time to kind of like bask in the moment, like to really like sit in a scene. A lot of his scenes are very, very quick. They're very fast paced. And to be fair, even being fast paced, his movies are like 2 hours and 45 minutes long. So if he wasn't, we would probably be dealing with 3 hour plus Christopher Nolan movies. More of them, at least. So, like, I understand it, but I would say, like, my biggest gripe with Nolan is just that, like, he doesn't have a lot of moments where we really sit and stew in a scene. Like, we really, really get immersed before the pacing, like, cuts to the next scene. Even in, like, the best scene in The Dark Knight, which is Batman and the Joker in the interrogation room, wonderful scene. But if you time that scene out, it's not that long. It's really fast, and then it cuts to the next scene, and it's just very, very quick. So that is my biggest gripe with Christopher Nolan. I still think he's a great director, and I love most of his movies, but it's just that very fast-paced, quick editing of just tons of exposition and just not being able to just kind of sit and mellow and like really soak in a scene, soak in a moment, soak in an emotion. He doesn't really give us a lot of time to do that usually. Is there a King Kong / Godzilla movie with a canonically sized King Kong? He should be able to climb Godzilla like a skyscraper. No, they always kind of give Kong some ape steroids to get him up to Godzilla size before they fight, you know? Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, that's one of the biggest criticisms is that, like, well, really, King Kong isn't that big, you know, especially compared to Godzilla. But they always give him the juice before they fight, so... Watched The Shining yesterday. It was so much better than I expected. Absolute masterpiece. Probably objectively top 3 best horror movies of all time. Bro, I can understand that completely. It was really, really high in my list of horror movies for a while. It's dropped down a little bit, but it's still pretty... I think in my top 100 films, it's still in like the top 30 or 40 for me. So, yeah, it is a masterpiece. It is wonderfully paced. And on the flip side of Christopher Nolan, talk about a director that really lets us sit in a scene and soak up the emotion. That's Kubrick, man. He has a lot of wide shots, long takes that really immerse you into the environment, into the character's headspace, with you know, the complete opposite of everything that I was talking about before. There's moments where you're just, the camera is just sitting on Jack for minutes straight, just watching the emotion and thought process change inside of his head, you know, and it's wonderful. I love that movie so much. After watching Welcome to Derry recently, you know, I've been wanting to go back and rewatch The Shining and then rewatch Dr. Sleep. Dr. Sleep is also amazing, by the way. So Dr. Sleep is sort of like the sequel to The Shining. I don't really consider it a sequel. It's just a story about Danny Torrance as an adult based on the Stephen King book. And when Mike Flanagan directed the movie Dr. Sleep, he sort of like took the best of both worlds where he adapted the Stephen King book, but he also kind of made it a sequel to The Shining where he had the hotel look the same. He had the flashbacks feel the same. So like if you watch the Dr. Sleep movie, there's a lot of imagery that is like 1-to-1 exact with The Shining. So I really love the way that he did that movie. But yeah, The Shining is one of the best. Definitely recommend it. Another 1980s movie for you. Just showing that the 80s was like the best at almost everything. But yeah, I highly, highly recommend. If you guys have, for some reason, never seen The Shining, I would highly recommend it. That would be my homework assignment to you guys tonight is go watch The Shining. It's kind of a Christmas movie. I mean, there's snow on the ground. It takes place in the winter. It's a Christmas movie. Yeah, why not? Super chat. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Happy holidays, Ryan. Have you started rereading Berserk again? Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the support. No, I was actually talking about that earlier in the stream. I was talking about my idea for it because somebody was asking about Berserk videos, and I was explaining why I haven't made many in recent times. And then I was also saying that next year, I think one thing that I want to do is go back and read the story from the beginning and do like a review series where I talk about it volume by volume. So we'll start with volume 1, and then I'll say, you know, everyone's homework assignment is go read volume 2. And then next week I'll talk about volume 2, 3, and it would be sort of like a casual off the cuff format, kind of like this, which I know can be annoying because I have a lot of like ums and ahs as I talk when it's not scripted out. So I apologize about that. But since I already did the manga analysis series and that's already there, and even though I'm not super proud of those videos because I think that they are presented terribly and the information is not exactly 100% correct, you know, they're still there for people to enjoy. So if I went back through the series, I could do it a different way. And now I would have like the knowledge and perspective of the whole show or the whole manga. Sorry. So I think I'd be able to talk about it a little bit better than before in a way. So no, when I do reread it, it'll probably be a volume at a time. So it'll be like, I'll read a volume a week and then do a discussion, not even a review, just like a discussion video on it. And then go to the next one. So that's, if people think that's a good idea, let me know. I'm still curious about people's thoughts on that because Again, like I said before, I don't know if I would want it to feel like redundant, like people or be like, you already talked about this before, so like, why are you talking about it again? But I don't know. So let me know what you guys think about it. And with that said, I'm going to crack a cold one for the boys. Kubrick is the GOAT. Yes, he is. Yeah, Kubrick. I think, like, objectively, in my opinion, Kubrick is probably the greatest director we've ever had. Just because pretty much all of his movies are masterpieces. He's done a variety of different genres, and all of them stay with you. Sometimes positively, sometimes in a more haunting kind of way. You never really forget a Kubrick movie. I felt bad for Jack at the end. I feel, yeah, I mean, I feel bad for all of the characters. You know, I feel bad for Jack, for Wendy, for Danny. You know, none of them really had any idea what was coming. Shining takes place in December from what I've heard. So yes, it's a Christmas movie. I'm going to count it as a Christmas movie. If we can count Die Hard as a Christmas movie, I think it's totally reasonable to consider The Shining a Christmas movie. I mean, there's so much snow. It's a winter wonderland. Why not? And it's about family. You know, what's more Christmas than that? It's a movie about a family hanging out together, taking care of a hotel. I mean, that's Christmas, right? There's a party going on with some weird, you know, people in like bear costumes. That's Christmas, right? Yeah. There's a nice bartender being all jolly. Some interesting bathroom conversations. It's all about, you know, everything in it is Christmassy. It's a good idea. Ryan would definitely look forward to it. Okay, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit of feedback about what people think of that idea, to go back and kind of like do an off-the-cuff, casual discussion of Berserk volume by volume. That way, you know, it would be like weekly content. It would be, you know, something guaranteed. It would kind of give back to the people that, you know, want to see Berserk stuff on the channel again. I mean, I think overall it would be a positive. My only concern is that I just wouldn't want it to feel redundant or feel like, I don't know, like why are you talking about it again if you've already talked about it? I don't know. That's the only part that I'm kind of like iffy about. The new mic is looking sharp. Thank you, man. It's what I'm very, very stoked about. Like I said, this is the first time ever that I could actually just like sit back in my chair and still be able to stream, like be able to talk into the microphone and actually like sit back and not destroy my spine. It's amazing. I can't imagine the damage I've done over the last couple of years. Although I do go to the gym a lot, so I'm hoping like maybe, you know, kind of balanced it out, you know, make my back muscles stronger as I make my spine weaker. That's how that works, right? That's science. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm probably fucked. Scared to get into Berserk because my brother traumatized me with the Golden Age movies. Yeah, that'll do it. He would leave the room anytime something nasty was coming up. I mean, that would definitely do it. I was traumatized by those movies as well. That is how I first got into Berserk, as I watched the Golden Age movie trilogy, having no idea what the series was about. All I knew was that it was like a medieval dark fantasy kind of story. I did not know that there was going to be demons in it, and I did not know that Griffith was going to do what he did. And yeah, good times. Yeah. Positively traumatized once again. No, it's worth it, man. It's worth it. It is definitely a journey, but there's a lot to discover. There's a lot of great characters. And the movies cut out a lot of stuff from the Golden Age. Like There's a lot of important character moments and even like omitted characters from it. So if you ever did read it, I would say read all of it, even the Golden Age. Like don't think because you saw the movies like you know everything about the Golden Age. There's definitely more stuff to discover, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the journey to go on. And it has some of the best characters, some of the best action, some of the best horror, all kind of combined together. Have you seen The Lighthouse, Parasite, or Source Code? I have seen The Lighthouse is... I think I have to watch it again because I love Robert Eggers. He's sort of like my favorite modern director, I guess you could say, or director who's made less than 5 movies. Nosferatu is a 10 out of 10 movie for me. It actually just hit its 1-year anniversary. It came out Christmas Day last year. Nosferatu is 100% like my type of movie. I love The Northman, and I really like The Witch. But The Lighthouse is the one movie of his that I was not overwhelmingly positive about. I enjoyed it, and I love Willem Dafoe in it. Like, you're a fan of me, lobster. I've seen it. Like, I like it, but it just it felt like one of those movies that I never want to watch again. But I don't feel like that for the rest of his films. Like I said, The Witch and The Northman and Nosferatu, I love those 3 movies, but particularly Nosferatu. But yeah, The Lighthouse is just not one that I've necessarily wanted to go back and watch again. Yeah, all winter movies are Christmas movies. Yeah, from a certain point of view, if you have a nice, like warm, cozy, well, not warm, I guess, because there's snow everywhere and it's in the middle of winter. But like, there's something about it that if you're watching it on a screen and not having to deal with it in real life, it feels warm and cozy, if that makes any sense. So any movie that gives you that feeling is definitely worthy of being called a Christmas movie. Yeah, it's about family. Exactly. That's what makes it a Christmas movie. The Shining is about family. You know, it's about spending time together. Clearly, it hits all of the criteria and themes of what you would want a Christmas movie to be. There's an alternate ending where you see Wendy in the hospital. Is there really? Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that. Guess The Thing is a Christmas movie too. The Thing is a Christmas movie. You know, it's a bunch of bros. It's about friendship. You know, it's a friends Christmas, like a Friendsgiving. You know, it's a Friendsmas. It's a bunch of the boys hanging out, just hanging out with your boys in an isolated Arctic facility where there may or may not be an entity that absorbs and creates itself to look like a perfect image of somebody else, and you never know who is actually infected, and it's coming to kill you slowly but surely. But beyond that, I mean, it's absolutely a Christmas movie. Read Fire Punch Chapter 1 live for us. I don't know. That makes me wonder what's in Chapter 1. Down for the Berserk volume reads. Needed a reason to reread Berserk again anyways. Yeah, I'm thinking that that's what I'm probably going to do. It feels like a good idea in my head. And also, like I said, like I haven't gone back and reread that series in its totality in probably like 5 years at this point. So I feel like I'm kind of overdue. The Berserk manga has more detail than all of the anime adaptations. Yeah, well, yeah, it does. Miura's artwork is incredible, and there's always something that you pick up on that you don't notice right away. Like, you can, binge it and read it really quickly, but if you take your time reading Berserk, you'll always notice like little things in each panel that just give a little bit more weight or a little bit more context to everything else that's happening. Like, you know, when I've gone back to reread chapters or to, you know, to look at a scene, inevitably there's going to be something I noticed that I didn't notice before that just kind of like is so obvious, but I just didn't realize it the first time through. Have you seen Irreversible? I have not watched it. Like, I know of it, and I know of like the infamous scene in the movie, but I haven't actually ever watched it. I don't think. Now I'm thinking about it. Like, do I just know about the scene, or did I actually watch that one? I don't think I watched it. I'm pretty sure I haven't. Where's the best place to read manga? Tried reading it on a phone. The app/sites I've tried usually suck. Do have a PC, so if there's a site that's easier, that would work too. Yeah, I mean, the best place to read it is in your hands in a book. But yeah, it depends. It depends where you can find it. With Berserk, I mean, it's everywhere. There's literally a site that's just called like readberserk.com that has every single chapter. So that one is pretty damn easy to find. So if that's the one you're going after, you're not going to have difficulty finding it. Just go to like Read Berserk, or I'm sure other people in the chat can lend some websites to you to get some better quality reading manga. But yeah, that's out there. You know, you just try to find it where you can. I'm not loyal to like a particular site or something. I just try to find one that has decent scans or decent quality scans. People like hearing you talk about Berserk, so maybe redundant, but I think it's worth it. That's fair. I appreciate the input. Once reread all of the Conviction arc in Berserk all in one night. Damn. I don't even know if I'd be able to sleep after that, man. Maybe I would after seeing Mozgus's beautiful face, you know, have some sweet dreams. But other than that, I don't know. That might traumatize me too much to sleep. I still think, for me personally, I think that the Conviction arc is still where the artwork hit its peak. Like, I'm not an artist, so I can't speak from like the technique that was used or, you know, the improvements that Miura made over time. But just from reading it as a fan, I really do think the artwork in the Conviction arc around that era, like just slightly post Golden Age era of Berserk, is my absolute favorite as far as the art goes. How far did you get in Arkham Origins if you're still playing it? Yeah, so I played it yesterday up until... How far did I go? I fought Deathstroke. I went past that segment with the Penguin. I went to the sewers, the police station where you meet Gordon. I think I kind of made it right around there, maybe a little bit further. Oh, yeah, actually, I got to where Batman figures out the crime scene where they think that Black Mask was killed. That whole, like, that room where, like, they were investigating the crime scene and he has to, like, gather all the evidence or whatever. I made it about that far. I don't know how far that is in the actual game. Probably not that. Probably not that much. But I think that's where I left off. Yeah, if Destroyer returns, it'll be hard to separate him from the Oxygen Destroyer. That's true. That's literally where his name comes from. most people see a cool devil monster, but he represents the escalation of the bomb from the first Godzilla. No, you're absolutely right. And that's why it would be a little bit weird in the Monsterverse, because they've already introduced the oxygen destroyer, but they did it in such like a casual, like random way that almost nobody even remembers it. Like in King of the Monsters, they used the oxygen destroyer to try to kill Ghidorah while Godzilla's fighting him. And it's just like a very quick, dismissive line of dialogue that really, if you have no context of what the oxygen destroyer is, then there's no way that you would even know that it's supposed to be important or how relevant it is. Like, again, I love that movie and I still think it's the best in the Monsterverse, but I will admit that Michael Dougherty did try to throw everything he possibly could, like as many references from previous Godzilla movies as he possibly could. And because of that, they just threw in the oxygen destroyer like out of nowhere, and then it's never really brought up again or mentioned again. So it's like, also it doesn't even have the same impact because, you know, there's no moral question on whether or not we can use it. And I mean, it doesn't kill Godzilla. It just kind of like knocks him out, and then he goes and retreats to the bottom of the ocean or whatever. But like, yeah. So if Destroya's origins are meant to be the same and he comes from the creation of the oxygen destroyer, it's not really going to make any sense or have any kind of like weight or, you know, relevancy in the Monsterverse, because the oxygen destroyer is such a quick little blip in the timeline. So I would be very curious to see how they would handle that. Maybe they would bring the oxygen destroyer back and have it play a more important role and then introduce Destroya. Because even if you change his origins, it's kind of like, that's literally where his name comes from. Like, what are you going to do? But, I mean, they do change the origins all the time. I mean, Ghidorah in GMK was like a guardian of the earth, where he's always been depicted as an extraterrestrial, like, evil alien monster. So, like, I guess if they can do that to Ghidorah, then they can do anything they want to Destroya, right? Have you played any of the Dead Space games? Currently going through both 1 and 2 for the first time. Thought it fit the genres of what you cover on your channel. Yeah, I played a little bit of the original Dead Space, but I've never finished it. I have it right now on my Steam. I just haven't gone back to play through it. I got a lot of games I need to get through. But yeah, I like Dead Space from what I have played. It does feel a little bit... sometimes... if it's a little bit too similar to another game, like it's very similar to Resident Evil but different, sometimes I'm just kind of like, well, I'd rather just play Resident Evil, but I haven't gotten deep enough into it to have a appreciation for it. So I got to get back to it and try to get through it. Read One Piece again. We're finally at the end game. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch up on all like 10,000 chapters in time. I mean, it's a good idea in theory. I just, I don't know, man. That would be a lot. That would be a lot. If I could just like in the Matrix, just like upload a bunch of information into my mind, I would love to upload the entire story of One Piece so I would know it. But the idea of going through it, it's just such a like a daunting, exhausting kind of feeling that I never like want to sit down and do it. Like whether it's the anime or the manga, I'm always just thinking like, oh God, like there's so much of it. There's just so much. And I feel like that's not a feeling I should have. You know what I mean? Like I feel like maybe One Piece was meant for other people and not for me. Like I should be excited. I should be excited about thousands of chapters, but I'm not. I'm just not. I really think Guts is going to die. It would make the most sense. I think it would make some poetic sense considering we saw Guts be born in the series. So in a way, we're kind of getting his entire life story, you know, like we saw him as a child. We saw his upbringing. We saw him in the Band of the Hawk. We saw him fall in love. We saw post Eclipse, Black Swordsman era, the new era, whatever, you know, after he gets out of the stupa and what kind of changes are going to happen inside of him, like the next era of Guts. There would be a poetic idea of, you know, kind of seeing this man's entire life story, and you know how his choices to stay human no matter all of the difficulties that he's gone through has, you know, helped him and other people, you know, be able to do what they do to hopefully stop Griffith and the God Hand. So yeah. And also I always think about like the final page, if it was just like Guts' Dragon Slayer there in the middle of the Band of the Hawk swords, like the Hill of Swords, and you just had the Dragon Slayer there as like the final shot. I don't know. There's something kind of cool about that I would like to see. Or like have the Dragon Slayer there in the Hill of Swords and then have like Casca and the Moonlight Boy visiting his grave. I don't know, man. So that would get me like choked up. That would get me emotional. If the series ends, you know, and we deal with like all the God Hand bullshit and Griffith and stuff, and then the final page is just Casca and the Moonlight Boy visiting Guts' grave, and there's like the Dragon Slayer with the other swords, man. I would shed a tear, man. I would shed a tear. I probably would shed a tear no matter what, to be honest. I mean, there's probably ways that they could end it that would annoy me, but I think I'll probably end up liking it and probably getting a little bit too emotional about it, I'm sure. I don't understand the One Piece hate, honestly. I mean, for me, it's not hate. I don't hate anything about it. I just don't think it's for me in the long term. Like, I'm glad that I checked it out, and I appreciate it. And like I said, if I could just upload the entire story so that I would know it, like, I would love to see how things turn out. But it's just, for me, that's just like so much. It's so much to get through. And also, like, there's a lot of and again, this is not hate, but like there's a lot of wackiness to One Piece that I just don't, it just doesn't quite work for me. I don't know if it's just like the character designs or some of the silliness and the goofiness, and like there's just something about it that doesn't quite work for me. And that's not hate, that's not shade, that's not saying that, you know, people shouldn't like it. It's just me personally. There's just something about it that like I feel after a long enough time it kind of like wore on me. Like from what I did read, because I read up through Alabasta, and like I enjoyed it enough, but like I wasn't over the moon about it. You know, I wasn't like I would love to know what happens next, and I would love to know the story, but I just don't. I don't want to know bad enough to where I'm going to sit and read 1,000 chapters or watch 1,000 episodes. That's kind of where I'm at. It's like I have this curiosity about it. I want to know where it goes, but like I don't have the drive to be like, I like this enough that I'm going to dedicate hours and hours and hours and hours of my life to read all of these chapters so that I could know. That's kind of where I'm at. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's people that would probably think that about Berserk. I mean, Berserk is like, what, 380 some chapters now, like approaching 400 chapters. And there's probably people that don't want to read that much. And I understand that. I get that. Plus like the subject matter. So it's not for everybody. I think for me, One Piece is just one of those things where I just don't have the ambition to try to make my way all the way through it. Although I appreciate it for what it is. I respect Oda as a creator. I just don't personally have like the tolerance to sit through that much if I'm not like, you know, like very passionate or connected to the characters in that way. Like with Berserk, like I am so connected to the characters. Like if they lived or died, it matters to me. You know, if a main character of Berserk dies, that's going to affect me. If a main character of One Piece died, I don't think I would feel the same way necessarily. And that's kind of like the disconnect for me, is like I'm just not as emotionally invested to take this 1,000 episode journey, you know? So that's where I'm at. And plus there's like 10,000 other things to read and watch that I can do faster So I'm probably going to do that instead. But that's not any hate against One Piece. That's just kind of where I'm at with it. Wolf Status, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for supporting the channel. Godzilla versus Aquaman. Who would win? Oh, boy. Even though Godzilla spends a lot of time in the ocean, I don't see him being commanded by Aquaman. Godzilla has a very stern defiance to him, although he has been mind controlled by aliens before. So if Godzilla can be mind controlled, can he also be influenced by Aquaman? This is a good question. I would like to think no, but that's just my bias of being a Godzilla fan. Man, that's a tough one. I mean, because he's not really a creature. I mean, he is from the ocean, but like not, he's like amphibious. It's like he's both a land and a sea creature. So would Aquaman be able to control him? I don't know. I would like to think no, but there's really no way to tell. Like because they're not in the same. I mean, I know they did Godzilla was recently in a DC comic book. They did like Godzilla Kong versus the Justice League or whatever. Was that ever brought up? Was that ever a thing? Was there ever a moment where Aquaman was like, I'm going to try to like telepathically communicate with this creature? I'd be curious if they tackled that subject. I want to read that someday. I do, but I don't know if that was brought up. I'd be curious to know the answer. But I will say, if we're going from evidence of what I know about the characters, I do have to concede that Godzilla was mind controlled before, multiple times. In Godzilla vs. Monster Zero and in Destroy All Monsters, Godzilla is mind controlled. So therefore, if Aquaman's powers work in a similar way, he might be able to do that to Godzilla, as much as I don't want to admit that. Aquaman sweeps. I don't know. I'm not confident enough to say that. I'm just saying that there is evidence that Godzilla has been mind controlled before. So that's all I'm saying. But if not, I mean, then Aquaman would have to use his resources of all of these sea creatures to try to attack Godzilla. And I think Godzilla can pretty much annihilate all of them. There is strength in numbers, but there's also strength in atomic breath. So in that case, Godzilla. Yeah, why do we have random numbers next to our names? I don't know why. I think this is something YouTube did. I hope I didn't fuck anything up. I didn't change anything about Streamlabs or YouTube, but it's showing everybody's usernames differently, which is annoying. And I don't know why. And I don't know how to change it back, if I can change it back. I don't even know if it's something that's exclusive to my channel or if it happens on other people's channels. Have you read Bleach or Hunter x Hunter? I've read all of Hunter x Hunter up to the newest chapters. I started reading Bleach, but I didn't get very far. But I love Hunter x Hunter. Aquaman can talk to fish. Yeah, he can talk to fish, but he can talk to anything from the sea. Like in the movie, he talks to that giant, there is like a giant kaiju creature in the Aquaman movie that he commands. Have you read Slam Dunk or watched the film that came out 3 years ago? I have not, no. I love Vagabond, but I don't know if I would like the other basketball mangas that he's done. I'm sure they're good. I'm sure they're good. I just don't know if they would be for me. I agree, but I thought he would just command a whale to lodge itself in Godzilla's throat. Well, that would be the worst thing you could do because Godzilla can just ignite his atomic breath and just incinerate the whale. Like, the atomic breath is no joke, you know? So that would not be the way to go. I don't, if Aquaman cannot, like, talk to Godzilla or command Godzilla in any way, then I think he's toast. Because I don't think there's any sea creature. I mean, if you're, again, like if we're dealing like the Aquaman movie or maybe the comics or something, and there are like kaiju-sized creatures in the ocean he can command, I mean, that might pose an obstacle for Godzilla, but I mean, this is Godzilla we're talking about. You know, it's like, I don't know. You're going to have to pull up like Cthulhu or something for something to stand a chance. You know what I mean? Does Cthulhu exist in the DC universe? That's a good question. I don't know. Glorious beard, Ryan. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. I grew it myself. Aquaman can probably talk to Godzilla, but have a therapeutic bro-to-bro talk with him. Yeah, I mean, Godzilla's stubborn, man. I don't know. Especially depending on the version of Godzilla you're using. Like, MonsterVerse Godzilla, I mean, he just don't care. He just wants to brawl. He just wants to throw down. Can he talk to SpongeBob? I would imagine so, yeah. I mean, Mermaid Man is basically like SpongeBob's Aquaman, and he can talk to all of them, so. Mermaid Man is kind of like Aquaman and Batman together, which is an interesting combination. Evil! I like Mermaid Man. There should be more episodes with him. I like the one where Barnacle Boy, who's like just as old as Mermaid Man, tries to order an adult meal from the Krusty Krab, and they want to give him a kid's meal, and then that's what sparks him to turn evil. But then at the end of the episode where he actually gets the full meal, he's like, man, this is pretty big. I don't know if I can finish it all. It's one of my favorite jokes. It's like an entire episode to set up one joke. Is the fact that they don't want to get him an adult meal because they don't think he'll be able to finish it, even though he's an old man. And he spends the whole episode turning evil. And at the very end, when he gets the meal, he's just like, you know what? This is pretty big. I don't know if I can finish it. It's great. It's great. I love SpongeBob, man. Solid stuff. Wolf Status, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it. Thought that a minute before you said it and was hoping that you wouldn't realize the atomic breath. LOL, you got it. Oh yeah, well, I mean that's Godzilla's ace in the hole. You know, that's what Godzilla has that like no other kaiju. I mean, kaijus have like beams that they can shoot or something, but the atomic breath is usually always presented as like, you know, Godzilla's ultimate, most powerful attack, and is something that gets him out of a lot of binds. And I noticed in like the newer Godzilla movies, it's kind of like they're always trying to one up the last atomic breath scene. Like you get that awesome scene in Shin Godzilla where like the you know, it turns to fire and then it turns to like the solid beam and then the beams come out of his spikes and everything. And then in Godzilla -1, they have the atomic breath scene. Well, then they had Godzilla 2014 first, where like his spines kind of glue one by one. They would glow blue, like leading all the way up to his head where he shoots the breath. And then he like shoots the breath inside of the Muto's mouth and cuts its head off. Then they did Shin Godzilla to one up that. Then they did -1 and they had like the atomic breath create this entire like nuclear blast, you know, mushroom cloud to kind of one up that. So it's kind of like every single movie is like trying to do the next best atomic breath scene, which I appreciate because they're all pretty awesome. I only read one issue of DC versus Godzilla. It had a giant Superman in the Justice League help Godzilla and Kong fight Rodan and Ghidorah. That's amazing. Yeah, I saw the one where Godzilla shoots Superman with the atomic breath and basically burns him up and knocks him out. And the Godzilla fandom was pretty stoked about that for a while, as they should be. I mean, I'm not saying that Godzilla would beat Superman, but I would be rooting for Godzilla. That's all I'm saying. Since you mentioned DC and Cthulhu, the city of Arkham is literally taken from Lovecraft's works, so maybe. Yeah, I mean, if Cthulhu exists in the DC universe and Aquaman can talk to him, then we would have a contender to fight Godzilla, I would say. The Mermaid Man voice actor passed away, so there won't be any more episodes with him. That's a bummer. Although I have not watched SpongeBob in many, many years. I think probably like most people my age, I'm very familiar with the classic episodes, but would not be able to tell you anything about SpongeBob episodes in like the past decade or so. I know there was a new movie and it looked terrible because I don't understand why the SpongeBob movies have to be weird CG animation and not actually look like SpongeBob. Like the first SpongeBob movie looks like SpongeBob, but like a higher budget movie version of it. And then all the other SpongeBob movies just look like straight up CGI, like trash. I don't understand. Imagining Aquaman and Godzilla doing edibles together. You know how many edibles Godzilla would need to consume to even feel anything at all? I don't even know. Maybe, I mean, Godzilla just absorbs, radiation, That's how he gets excited. That's his vice. Oh, yeah, Clancy Brown as Mr. Krabs. Yeah, I always forget that Clancy Brown is in The Shawshank Redemption. It's so weird. He's in a lot of movies, actually. He always plays smaller roles. He was just recently in the Penguin TV show, the one with Colin Farrell. I thought that was pretty funny. And he's also, unfortunately, in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, but we won't talk about that. We'll just pretend that that's not. Just pretend that that's not there, and he's been in much better things. WStream, now sharing your achievement of Chadness. Okay, met my girlfriend last month, green-eyed beauty. Not really an anime girl, though her basic literacy is on point. And she saw the golden age. Interesting. Well, I mean, there's always time to convert, man. You could always slowly introduce some stuff that you like to her over time, I suppose. But congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. It's good to find people to be with that have basic wow. Okay, apparently I don't because I didn't even say the word. Literacy skills. Very important. Very rare these days. There was a Hulk comic where he helped Godzilla defeat Mechagodzilla and Hedorah and became friends at the end, which I like. Game respects game. That's pretty funny. Hedorah would be a great villain to bring back. And I know they recently did one of those death battle things, and they had the Hulk fight Godzilla, and they said that the Hulk won. I did not watch the video, but I don't know. I just disagree. Granted, I don't know as much lore of the Hulk as I do Godzilla, because obviously Marvel Comics have existed for like forever, and I've only ever read like a couple of Hulk comics my entire life. So fair that I probably don't know what I'm talking about. But from the Godzilla side, I don't know, man. I just feel like feel like Godzilla gets the win on that one. But I probably just don't have the right info. I didn't watch the video either, so I can't argue against it. All I'm saying is, seems a little suspicious. Yeah, why is Ice Spice in SpongeBob? That's a good question. That's a good question. And why is she showing up to a premiere of a children's movie in like see-through clothes and her underwear? I don't know. Seems a little bit weird. SpongeBob has always been weird, but that is weird too. The second SpongeBob movie had 2D animation in its first half. Did it? I don't know if I ever saw that one. I think I've only ever actually seen like the SpongeBob movie, like the first one or whatever, with David Hasselhoff, which is a glorious movie, and I should probably watch it again. Embrace my inner Goofy Goober. Who do you like more, Guts or Godzilla for the big G's? Oh, that's an impossible question, man. That's an impossible question. How can you ask me that? I mean, you know, Godzilla is my childhood. You know, Godzilla is my spirit animal. Guts is the best written character in all of fiction. I mean, how do you do that to me? I mean, as a character, I mean, I guess I would say Guts, but like as a concept, I mean, maybe Godzilla, because it's just like Godzilla's very close to my heart. I mean, so is Guts, but like, I don't know. It's hard to compare the two, because one is like this deep, complex character with all of these different layers and several different arcs of emotion and pain and turmoil and trauma that has shaped him into the man he is. And the other is a giant radioactive monster that destroys Tokyo. So like, it's very hard to compare, but I love them both with all of my heart. Obviously I would say Guts is the better character, you know, but then Godzilla is like an icon, you know. It's something that kind of stands out, you know, as above everything else. It's like this idea, you know. It's like this, I don't know. It's this representation of like destruction, mankind's hubris. Like it just like it represents so many different things, you know. Yeah, Mother Nature, pain, war. Like, it's just like, it's not about the character, like personality wise. It's about like what Godzilla represents, you know. Which is a lot. The third SpongeBob movie has Snoop Dogg. Oh shit. You know what I was thinking about the other day was Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror. Snoop Dogg made a horror movie back in like, I think the mid 2000s, maybe the late 2000s. It's like an anthology, sort of like Tales from the Crypt sort of movie. I don't know why I thought of that. It's not very good, but it's entertaining. I don't know. I have no idea why I brought that up. Go watch Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror. There you go. That's my my request. Oh, I've also been trying to watch every single Jim Carrey movie ever made so I can do a tier list. And I'm taking this very seriously. I am watching every Jim Carrey movie. It's going to take me a while because he's been in a lot of movies. And I have so many other things to do as well. But I am trying to watch through his entire filmography. And when I say his entire filmography, I mean his entire filmography. Like, I am trying to watch every single movie that Jim Carrey has ever appeared in so that I can do a tier list for you guys. Kind of like how I did the Arnold Schwarzenegger one last year or earlier this year. and I want to be able to do it as accurately as possible. So I've been watching through them. I watched Dumb and Dumber this morning. It's one of my all-time favorite movies of all time. It will definitely, spoiler alert, be up in the S tier. No doubt about that whatsoever. But yeah, I'm trying to, and I'm watching them in order also. Like, I went onto his filmography and I listed them all out in order, and I went back all the way to like his made-for-TV Canadian movies, which are absolutely trash and terrible, like Copper Mountain and Rubber Face, which are just like abysmally shitty, like 1 hour TV movies. But I watched them. And then I watched, Earth Girls Are Easy. And then I watched the 2 Clint Eastwood movies that he's in, the Deadpool and Pink Cadillac, which he's only in that movie for like 30 seconds. And I felt like I wasted my time watching it. But it also has a scene where Bill Moseley plays like this neo-Nazi guy, which was kind of funny. But anyways, so I finished watching that. And then I watched Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber, which is like the golden era of Jim Carrey. And I think next up I have Batman Forever. And I'm not skipping any, even if I've seen the movie before and I know it, like Dumb and Dumber, I've watched that movie a million times, but I'm making a determination to watch every single Jim Carrey movie in order, like no matter what. So if I've seen it 1,000 times or if I've never seen it, I'm just watching it in the order it was released. So I'm working on it. Slowly but surely. It's going to take me a really long time, probably, but I'm trying to watch every single Jim Carrey movie ever made. Number 23 and Cable Guy are the most underrated Jim Carrey movies. They're probably up there. Yeah. Cable Guy, I like a lot, but it's been a while. Like, that's another thing too, is like a lot of these movies I haven't seen in a really long time. So it'll be fun to rewatch them. Number 23 was good. I don't know what I would think is the most underrated Jim Carrey movie. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I guess I'll give you a better answer once I finish them all. How's the end of the year bulk/fattening paying off in the gym? I gorged hard this Christmas, and I'm at record weights of blow. Gonna get that recomped, then deadlift 450 by spring's end. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me right now is trying to figure out what I want my fitness goals to be next year, because I always kind of change it up year to year. And I also am trying to like be really conscious of the fact that I'm getting older, and I try not to lift with my ego too much these days. Like I don't exactly know what I want to do. I kind of want to try to build strength again, because I haven't been focusing on that for a while, but then I also get a little bit nervous because I'm getting older. So it's like, it's going to be a slower process. And obviously everything I do is like natural. So like, very slow and steady. But I got to figure out what my goals are next year. Right now I think I'm doing all right. I think I'm mostly good. I feel good. My diet hasn't been the best, but like you said, holiday season, Christmas time, this is like the worst week of the entire year when it comes to fitness diet. Like, you got Christmas, then you got this weird week in between Christmas and New Year's. And, I'm trying to eat, semi-healthy, but, I also have tons of cookies and like, Christmas candy and pie and all that bullshit. So, doing my best to figure it out. And then starting in January, I'm probably going to start a new routine and probably focus on strength building again. And then we'll do that for a while, over the course of a couple months, and then maybe dial it back to see, go back to aesthetics a little bit. I don't know. It'll depend. I think once I figure out a program, like something that once I lock down what I actually want to do next year, it'll be easier to talk about. Eternal Sunshine won't be S tier, right, Ryan? That's pretty obvious. I think it's pretty obvious that I would put Eternal Sunshine in S tier, or maybe SS tier, because that is my favorite movie of all time. So, going to be a little biased there for sure. Also, I have to psych myself up to watch it again, because it can be a rough movie to watch. Which is better, Batman Forever or Eternal Sunshine? That's like, The Godfather and Citizen Kane, right? Like, which one is better? No. Yeah, I like Batman Forever. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I do have nostalgia bias towards it because it came out when I was a little kid, but I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it's definitely like more geared towards children. Like, it's definitely very much like a kid's movie in comparison to like the Tim Burton Batman movies or the Nolan Batman movies. But, you know, I don't think it's that bad, really. It's got some wackiness to it that I think is a little much, but it's not a bad movie. And Val Kilmer is a pretty good Batman. And also, have you seen the Sonic movies? I have seen Sonic 1 and 2. I still have not seen Sonic 3, but those obviously they'll be on my watch list as well as I make myself through make my way through Jim Carrey's filmography. Yeah, love them both too. It's tough. Godzilla was there with me since the beginning. Yeah, and that's exactly how I feel. Like it is my I think like my first love of any kind of media was probably Godzilla when I was a little kid, and it stuck with me into adulthood. Saw a cat on your Instagram story. Is that a new cat or someone else's cat? So that is my girlfriend's cat, Charlie. I can hear him right now, actually. I might be able to show him to you guys. Hey, Charlie. He has, Charlie has thumbs. Come here, buddy. Come here. Oh, come here, Charlie. This is Charlie. This is my girlfriend's cat, but he's here right now. Look at him, and he has thumbs. You can see, he's got little thumbs. Hey, Charlie, say hi. It's a boy cat. I think he's like 11 or 12 years old. We're getting more familiar with each other. He was sleeping next to me the other night, but yeah, this is Charlie. Everyone say hi to Charlie. Charlie. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah, look at that. He's a bit of a doof, but he really likes to play. He really, really loves to play. Like Dracula, like he played with stuff on occasion, but this cat is like always batting around the little mouse on the ground, or like there's like a feather on a string that he's obsessed to play with, and he's just like he's rambunctious. He's got a lot more energy than Dracula did, that's for sure. So that's been an adjustment, but he's been staying here. Yeah, Charlie. He's a good boy. Yeah, Charlie. Okay. He's also finding stuff. Like he's finding so many things that Dracula had hidden around the house. Like there are toys that I'm finding showing up on the floor that I thought had been lost years ago. You know, like I don't know if he's just like getting in every single crevice of the couch, or if he's, you know, searching them out on purpose, or if he's just finding them by accident. I don't know, but he is finding so many toys that I didn't even think still existed. Huh, Charlie? What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? He hasn't come out here very much. But he's exploring. I've bonded with him also because I give him the good kitty treats, you know, the special stuff. I got the special sauce, kitty treats that he likes. But he is chunky though. He's a chunky boy, so I try not to give him too many. Yeah, Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. I agree. Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. It counts. If you watch it on Christmas, that's totally valid. Yeah, he's finding Dracula's hidden stash. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I keep finding like random toys that I bought Dracula 3 or 4 years ago, and they're just showing up. And I'm like, I have not seen that in forever. Like, it must have been knocked underneath a cabinet or a dresser or the TV or something. And then Charlie is just like going around exploring and finding it. So I don't know, man. The only thing is, I feel bad because Charlie is used to going outside, and he's going to have to be an indoor cat if he stays here because my neighbors have dogs, and I just get worried that, you know, if he goes out and he doesn't know, and, you know, I just don't want something bad to happen. So we're keeping him inside. But he seems to be mostly okay with it. Like, there's a couple of times he's kind of meowed at the door or like wanted to go out, but he's not acting like too upset about it. Maybe just more confused, but I think he'll get used to it. He'll have to be an indoor cat from now on. Yeah, he has thumbs. Yeah, Charlie has thumbs. Ooh. He's evolving. But yeah, all right, guys. So I'm probably gonna wrap up the stream here fairly soon. I've been streaming for about 2 hours, so I'll probably go for like another 5 or 10 minutes or so. So any final questions, comments, concerns, any super chats to help support the channel, go ahead and throw all that in now, and we'll kind of wrap it up here in a minute. I probably have to go feed Charlie, honestly. Or make sure I have enough cat food on hand, because I'm pretty sure we're getting a pretty bad snowstorm tonight. And I don't want to have to go to the store tomorrow if I can avoid it. I'd rather go before the bad snowstorm. And I don't think I have any salt for the ice, which is not good. But not a lot of people walk near my house, so that's okay. But I walk from my house to my car, and I'd rather not slip and fall on my ass. But I don't think I have any salt, so that's not good. Has your girlfriend moved in with you? Or yeah, I would say basically yes. We're figuring out details and stuff, but yeah, she's basically moved in at this point. It's just been kind of a chaotic week because of Christmas and everything, but that's probably going to be the plan moving forward. Have you seen Silent Night, Deadly Night 4? No, actually, I've never seen any of the sequels, and I wanted to go see the remake, but it did not play in any theaters near me. I was not able to go see it, which I was kind of bummed about. I was kind of looking forward to it, actually. And I've heard some good things, but I did not have a chance to see it. It just literally wasn't playing here. One of those rare times that I kind of wish the movie went on streaming at the same time so I could at least see it. Is Charlie named after a character? I don't think so. I'll have to ask my girlfriend about that, but I'm pretty sure she just named him Charlie. Maybe. I don't know. Now I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure the answer is no, but I'll get back to you on that. What is the meaning of life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. Who is Charlie? It's my girlfriend's cat. He was here a little bit ago. He's got thumbs. I envy you. We haven't had snow all December. Dude, don't envy me, man. I hate snow so much. Like, anybody that lives in an area that doesn't get snow doesn't understand that snow actually sucks. Like, it's terrible. Like, I hate the cold. I hate shoveling. It makes the roads worse. It makes traveling worse. It just makes everything worse. Like, it looks pretty. The visual can be nice, I suppose, but living in actual snowstorms is just it's just the worst. I hate it. Plus, I have to shovel multiple driveways because I go to my mom's house and shovel her driveway too because, you know, I'm nice like that, I guess, but it sucks. She has a huge driveway, and it sucks. I watched all 5 in one night. Oh man, I can't imagine. I mean, I've heard a lot of those sequels are really bad, so making it through all 5 in one night has got to be an endeavor, man. So kudos to you, my friend. Been a while since I caught a stream. New jobs had me busy on the weekends, but ticket sales are low tonight. They don't need me. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hey, Merry Christmas, man. Good to see. I mean, unfortunately, I'm going to leave the stream in like a couple of minutes, but I appreciate you showing up, man. Thank you. Peak answer, not gonna lie. I mean, it's the truth. When Arnold gives you advice in the form of Conan the Barbarian, you listen. He's speaking some facts. I bought 2 heaters as Christmas presents for my friend. Dude, yeah, I mean, I have a heater. I literally put my heater below my desk because my feet get so goddamn cold all the time. Like, my toes are frozen right now. Like, they really are. Like, it's terrible. I don't know why my feet just cannot circulate heat for the life of me. No matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, my feet never get warm. So I literally stick my foot, like, right on my heater, like, literally right up against it until my toes are burning. And then I take it off, and then I put the other foot on, and I just slowly alternate. That's how I live my life. It's pretty terrible. Wolf Status. Thank you, Wolf Status. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the support. It goes a long way. It means a lot to me, man. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate the support, man. I hope that it doesn't go to waste, and I hope that I create stuff that you guys like and that you guys enjoy, brings you entertainment or whatever the case may be. Any enjoyment you get from the channel, man, makes me happy. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you for supporting, and we'll just we'll keep the train running next year. You know, no matter what, if people are watching or not watching, or you know, the views dwindle down back to nothing. If I come full circle and videos are getting 20 views per video like it was for years and years when I started, so be it. I'm still going to be doing what I'm doing. So I appreciate anybody that is coming along for the journey, man. Oh yeah, I might do a New Year's stream. It depends on. I don't know exactly what I'm doing on New Year's yet. I've heard a couple of different things that I might be going to, but I don't know for sure. But if I don't end up doing anything, and if I don't end up getting sick like I did last year, I'll probably do a New Year's stream. I had planned to do one last year, and I literally got like deathly sick with the flu on New Year's Eve. I woke up New Year's Eve. I felt like crap. I was terribly, terribly sick. I had the chills, the sweats, everything, fever. And then I fell asleep, and then I think I woke up at like 2 a.m. and I just missed New Year's Eve. So I hope that does not happen again. We'll see though. All right, guys, I'm gonna peace out now. Thank you guys for being here. This stream was also in part a experiment to test out my new microphone. Seems to be working well. People seem to like it, and like I said, I can actually lean back in my chair, so it's kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. So look forward to better quality audio in the future. I'm happy to give that to you guys. And yeah, thanks for watching, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Special shout out. Thank you, Wolf Status. I appreciate it, man. 112094, thank you. Dylan Smith, thank you for the super chats tonight, man. Keeping the channel going. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out, guys. May or may not do a New Year's stream, but I have a couple of various end of the year videos to put out. I have my top 10 movies of the year. I have my 2026 channel update video. So a couple more videos before the end of the year. To kind of keep you posted on what's coming next. But thank you guys for sticking with me, man. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys. Hope you had a good Christmas. Hope you have a good day today. And yeah, take care, everyone. Peace out. Love you guys.